And we're live. What's something embarrassing that you're willing to admit?
Man, see, now I have to separate my embarrassing moments from the ones I'm willing to admit.
Right?
I guarantee I have a.
I shit outdoors at the Botanical Gardens when I was 17 on a school field trip. There's a really nice botanical gardens here. And
That was just... All right, well done. This is it. This is the one.
So basically the tale was, I think I told this on here before. If it was a long while ago. So we were on this field trip, and it was like me and, you're walking around. It wasn't very structured. It was kind of like, an end of the year kind of thing of like, just enjoy whatever shows and what's going on. Walk around with your friends, talk, chat, enjoy the pretty summer weather. And I was walking around with a bunch of my friends, and I was like, I just got that like gurgling in my stomach of like, oh man, I got to shit right now. Like I didn't get like the warm up, colon prod where it was like a little like, no, it was just straight like, I'm gonna shit my pants. I don't get this taken care of. And so like I saw one of those gazebos or whatever that usually has bathrooms in there, and I like clinched butt jog it over there, and they're both out of order. Both of them are out of order. They're like the doors, to the point that like the doors are open. Because if it was just out of order and the doors were closed and everything and it wasn't stuck open, I would have went in there and just dropped a shit and like left like an I'm sorry note to whoever would have had to clean that up. But I was like,
written in shit.
And so like written in shit. And so I was running around like looking for somewhere, like desperately, like there was no other gazebo, there was nothing. Like and this gurgling is happening. It's not like I can muscle it down. Like no, this is going to happen. And so I see a giant willow tree, where all of the willow branches are hanging down enough that it kind of provides you a curtain inside the willow tree. And so I was like, this is happening. This is going to happen right now. I'm going to shit my pants. I'm going to have shit running down my leg. And so I run into the cover of the willow, and I get right next to that tree, and I just fire out a shit as fast as I can. And then like after I've shit, I'm like, well, no, here's that. I was like, I don't have anything to wipe with because I don't carry toilet paper around. I'm not weird as I shit under a willow tree. And so shit there, and then like stepped out of my shoes, took my socks off, and then like put my sock over my hand and use that as a wiping apparatus, and then just like pull it inside out and toss that to the side. Use my other sock because it was a 2-sock wiper. And so then
a 2-sock wiper. Nice.
Yeah, and so I take both of my socks, I just leave them there next to this pile of shit under a willow tree, put my shoes back on with no socks, and just walk out, and then do the thing where I try and put my distance between myself and the crime, to where like, I poke my head through the curtain, the nature's curtain, and I kind of like quick jog over somewhere else and then try and reconvene with friends like, oh, hey, you see that guy shitting under the willow tree? It looked a lot like me, huh? That didn't say that. but yeah, that's something embarrassing that I'm willing to admit.
I had a similar thing happen to me like
holy shit.
2 years ago.
Are we all going to go into this?
So I'm flying my paramotor, and I'm in this Icarus race, right? And in the first leg, during the first leg, unavoidably, I poop myself a little bit. Just a fart that I should not have trusted, right? A shart. And this is a problem, but I'm in the race, and at this point, I'm only like 80% sure that I have a problem, right? Turns out I run out of gas on this leg. I land in the middle of a cow field, right? And I'm just all by myself, alone in the middle of a field, a good like 2 miles from the nearest road. So I'm like, I check it out, and indeed my underwear has signs of poop, right? We have a problem here. Now, I thought this was a great move. Sacrificial underwear, right? Now my underwear is my toilet paper. And so I poop in the field, right? With all the other cow patties. And I leave my underwear right there next to it. I don't know, like as a gift for some farmer.
For some farmer.
Yeah. And but then this was my brilliant move. I have a paramotor and a wing, and there's so much to carry that I decided to make 2 trips. And I move it like 50 yards away from the underwear and poop that is mine. And on the way back, there was like somebody came with me. Like I was flying with this woman, and like we go to get either I guess it was the wing, I don't know. And the whole time, it's just like, don't look over there. Don't look over. It's only like 150 feet away. A pile of poop. And
The underwear says Woody.
yeah, and my boxers. And I'm just like, all right, yeah, all right. So I got it. Let's not walk it back. Let's face it the other direction. And I got away. It was the perfect crime.
Well done. You gotta think fast when the poop's coming out.
Yeah.
I feel like they're like we're on the topic of poop. So I really can't think of anything that I'm like, oh my God, that was super embarrassing. But when I was in 7th grade or 6th grade, I believe. No, I think it was 7th grade. I was in French class and I trusted something that shouldn't have been trusted, but it was silent. So like only I had known the mistakes that I had made, right? Like I'm sitting in my own shit. And you get that waft and you're like, soon everybody will understand. Soon the world will know that it was me. So I'm like, hey, Mr. Gilmore, can I go to the bathroom? He's like, yeah. I like get up and I walk away, go to the bathroom, pull down my pants. I'm like, oh shit. Like, yeah, definitely shouldn't have done that. Go to the bathroom, everything's fine. Now I'm left with this soiled pair of underwear in my middle school. The class had let out. So like we're in between periods. There's just everybody's walking. I have to get to my next class or else I have to be like, yo, I was in the bathroom. I'm sorry. Walk in late. So 7th grade Tucker hung his boxers on the coat hook on the back of the stall thinking, well, who would ever be so bold to do such a thing? Let's just hang it there and just walk away. Like if you throw it in the garbage can, maybe people be like, oh, this guy's trying to hide it. So just fucking put my underwear up on the back of the stall door, shut it, and walked away. Go to the bathroom, all this stuff.
But you were trying. They can't discover my mischievous.
No. It was just that people would never like expect me, the quiet kid, to hang his underwear loud and proud, shit stained on the back of the stall door. And it was also, we had halls. So it was like 8th grade hall at the top, 7th in the middle, and the bottom was 6th grade. I was in 7th grade. I got on the 6th grade door. Next day rolls around, nothing happens. I'm like, oh my God, I was safe. A full week goes by, and then we have like assembly, right? And they're like, and last but not least, we need to remind students that if you have an accident, you should throw your underwear in the trash. You should not hang it on the back of the stall door. Everybody starts laughing. I'm cracking up too because I'm like, that's my shit, but nobody knows. Everybody's trying to figure out who it was, and I swear to God, they pinned it on some poor kid in 6th grade.
Oh no!
And I did nothing to stand up to him.
I was the shit kid.
And he was the shit kid, and I just sat here and I was like,
you're the real shit kid.
I'm the shit kid.
Yes.
But yeah, 7th grade was rough. But yeah, I hung. I don't know. It would have been so much easier to throw in the trash and put paper towels over it. But me, I was just like, let me just hang it up here and run away. Wait. Oh my God. Speaking of shit, I just remembered. I was at my friend's housewarming party 2 weeks ago. It was like a day drinking thing from 1 to 9 p.m. And I swear to God, this is outstanding. And I show up at like 7 p.m. It's like a comfortable amount of people. Everybody's comfortably drunk. This is a esports event, so there's a lot of esports professionals, Red Bull, Riot Games, etc. And I go to the bathroom. There's somebody in there. Like I open the door and there's a girl peeing, and I was like, "Okay, lock the door. I'm sorry that I walked in on you." And I stand by, and she comes out. I'm in a conversation. A couple other people go in, and then I go in, and I open the door, and it's raining out in LA for rarity. I open the door. I'm like, Jesus, somebody tracked so much mud into this room. Like it's like the whole floor looks like mud water, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's shoe prints and everything. So like I stand really far away and pee into the toilet on the left side. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I hear a knock on the door. I'm like, yes, I'm in the bathroom. And then my friend whose house it is goes, somebody shit on my fucking floor. Is it you? And I was like, no. And then I wait and I go, is this shit? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, oh God. So I flush the toilet, put my dick in, open the door. I'm like, this is shit. This is not like mud, because it didn't really smell bad because the fan was on. No, it was shit. So I helped clean out the bathroom floor. It's a
what
nice
a
house.
friend.
covered in shit. Like there's droplets from the toilet. Like, how could I have not seen this? There's droplets from the toilet. Like, somebody shit and it was a mistake and they started running and it followed them. And I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. So I'm like, we're mid cleaning up and I go, okay, we just have to confirm because there's a bunch of dogs that are in this house that we have to confirm. Is it a dog that shit here or what? We open up the trash can and there's a pair of pink underwear in there. And I'm like, there's a female in this home that has shit on your floor and is probably still here. I have to go.
Probably still
Like,
here.
we have
like a scary movie.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
know.
someone killed Diane, and they're still here.
Bro,
Dude,
so
all
I,
you
like,
have to
go
do is find the girl not wearing underwear.
I know.
All right, everybody, bottoms off. We're gonna find the shit bandit.
So I tweet and I'm like, it's not even 7:30 p.m. and somebody shit on my friend's floor. We have like big speakers and a microphone because it's like a house party. I'm like, bro, you have to let me on the speakers. I have to ask, like, who shit on the floor? He starts freaking out. He's like, you can't. Like, all my bosses are here. All their girlfriends are here. Like, what if it's my boss's girlfriend shit on the floor and like my boss goes home and finds out that I publicly humiliated his girlfriend? So we just zip it. We zip it up. I cleaned up somebody else's shit on somebody else's
But you know
floor.
it was that girl.
That
was
girl.
a girl.
There were multiple women.
But
So,
no,
like,
the one that was there that you walked in on.
I don't know. There were other people that came in while I was in my
Oh.
conversation. I assumed that it was that girl, but I also wasn't paying attention. I was drinking. There was somebody in the 5 people or so that went in there that shit on that floor. My biggest worry here is they shit and there was a clear leaking pattern towards the door. So they like shit, took their underwear off, threw it away, shit, and then like leaked on the way out. So I'm like, you have to have a skirt. You have no underwear. This narrows it down. There were like 4 girls with skirts. The girl that was shitting also had a skirt. I think it was her still. And I swear to God, everybody else who went in there, because she had the fan on, and there was like, it smelled like soap, was probably like, it's just mud from the rain, because it was raining really hard.
Why would you get so freaked out by a poop? Be like, I gotta get out of here. Like,
What?
no,
No.
it's like, no, you're in the right place.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, like,
He thinks
but
she pooped
also,
on the way there.
there were towels there. I thought to myself, I'm like,
Oh.
if I were in your position and I shit,
laser.
I would shit, wipe all of the poop up with the towel, put it underneath the sink, and run away.
I
Or
would
like,
hide it like a fucking murder.
like what the fuck? Who leaves the floor covered in shit? Like, what if you exit and there's a dude there or anybody standing there waiting for you to go to the bathroom? Like, how do you pass that off? Somebody drug mud in there. Maybe
Stinky
that's
mud. Yeah.
dude.
Got
What a
corn in it.
weird. Yeah, it was too. I completely forgot about that. I blacked it
That's
out.
hilarious.
I don't want to ever remember that. That was terrible.
That's great. Kyle,
Like-
do you have an embarrassing poop story to add?
I've already told mine, right? Like I've only got the one, So I really don't have a bunch. I'm usually able to handle my business, poop in the morning, and you don't have to
You have
have
those
some sort of
friends
scary or
who like keep track of how long it's been since they pooped themselves. They're very
What
wealthy.
friends do you have, bro?
Oh, yeah. He had that thing. Yeah. He knew every time he'd shit himself. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah. And it wasn't high numbers. It's like, oh, it's been 21 days now.
21 days?
Yeah, just a terrible diet. He's just like, yeah, just had to shit so bad, and I get in a taxi, and I'm just like, oh yeah, take me to 21st Street now. And he's like just as he's at the part where they park, and he's about to pay, he just dumps a full load in his underwear right there, and he's like, oh, no rush now. No rush now. Deed is done.
I really don't remember the last time I shit myself. Like in my head, the last time was when I was sick with the flu, and like I was in my car. My mom was driving me home from someplace, and like I was like, Mom, I have to throw up out the window. So I threw out the window, but like you can't control yourself when you're puking, so I was leaking out both ends.
Oh, that's terrible.
And the worst part is she has to drive me home 20 minutes while I'm wallowing in my own shit. Just
Oh,
like
God.
leather seats.
At least it's
And I'm
not
just saying,
cloth.
like, I'm sorry, Mom. Yeah, at least it's not cloth. But like, I was like crying. I'm like 17 years old. I'm so sorry. We all have to go through this, including me.
Some
It's
friends
terrible.
of mine were very into poop related antics, and it was a snow day once, like earlier in high school, but one of us had our license, and his mom had like a Suburban or a Yukon, one of those big Tahoe kind of cars. And so we were all driving around in there, and this guy Drew was like, I gotta take a shit so bad. And people have been drinking and whatnot, and it was like, just do it out the window. And it wasn't like we were on a back country road somewhere, off the grid. We were on Highway 64, like a main highway here, Highway 40, I guess. And he stuck his ass out. He like was in the passenger seat in the front, like craned his ass out, like from the open window, like holding on to the luggage rack on the top to like stabilize himself.
Following.
And people are laughing, as he's about to poop, because you don't think about the physics of it. You're going at least 50 miles an hour, or probably closer to 40, given that it was a snow day. But you're going quick, 40, 50 miles an hour, and we imagine it's just going to be like a couple like like shits, and then onto the road.
Tap the side of the door, maybe.
Takes his big watery shit, and immediately the wind that was whipping by just paints the side of this Yukon in shit. And my friend who was driving his mom's car was like, oh, fuck, dude, fuck. Oh, we gotta go to the car wash or something. Like, is it that bad? And she's like, it's not that bad. There's just some shit on the side. He's like, no, there's shit all over my mom's car. So that we pull off, clean it up, and
with the pressure washer thing, the car wash.
With just a hose,
Okay.
while their parents weren't home yet, and so yeah, that ended up being a one-time thing. That friend who was driving that car really disliked his neighbors. He did not like his neighbors one bit. And those electrical boxes that are out in front of a house a lot of the time, like the green electrical box you see there. He, like midnight or 1 a.m., I wasn't around for this, like went over there with some of our other friends and just took a big steamy shit right on top of this electrical box. And overnight it froze. And so it was just frozen, partially solid, partially liquid shit on this electrical box. And he told me, yeah, and like 2 days later, I saw Mr. Johnson out there with this big broom getting it wet, trying to scrub the shit off. And like at the time, I'm like, that's hilarious. And, I'm a kid too, but this is pretty fucked, man. Like you shouldn't be purposefully shitting on other people's property. But
so when I was in like, I want to say the third, maybe the fourth grade, my mom was teaching a special ed class. And at the time I had no social awareness. So when she said that she was taking the special ed students to the Tennessee Aquarium, I was like, can I fucking go? And she's like, I guess, let's ask your teacher if you can get out of class today. And so she goes to my third grade teacher. She's like, hey, can I go on the field trip? I said, sure. Yeah, I guess, yeah, have fun at the aquarium. So I go on the aquarium with a busload of retarded children. On the way back, first we stop to eat lunch, right? We pull off the road at like a rest stop. We choose to eat lunch in the area where everyone walks their dogs. So every retard stepped in dog shit and gets back on the bus. Now the bus smells like dog shit. But that's not the end of the story, because Tiffany Jones, yes, I remember Tiffany, shit herself about a quarter of the way back to Georgia. It's a 3.5 hour drive. We had, the teachers had to be like, everyone, just lower your windows down. Just lower all of the windows down on the bus. The smell will go. It didn't.
No, it doesn't. That's not how it works.
It was just
the smell will go
in
in 4 weeks.
There's still poop here.
It was just whipping the smell of Tiffany Jones' shit-filled drawers throughout our nostrils, all over the bus. Like you'd be like, all right, I think all I smell is dog shit now. No, that's Tiffany. No, that's Tiffany. Oh God. Oh, what did she eat? Oh God.
Oh, poor Tiffany.
The whole way back.
Gummy bears and Funyuns. Oh yeah, that's her.
Yeah, that's a retard diet.
And you know what? What else? She was retarded, and so I assume she still is, barring a remarkable recovery. And so she didn't just take enough of a shit to relieve the pressure to make it to a bathroom. When it was coming out, she dumped the whole payload onto the floor of that Georgia State bus.
Absolutely. She was like, all or nothing, baby. That's how I shit. just let it fly. And she filled her shorts up. I didn't see them, but I guarantee those shorts were brown. There was drippings coming down her thighs. Like, it was a fucking disaster. I'll never forget that smell. I feel like one of those Vietnam vets who had to hide in a pile of corpses. Like, I had to lay there for hours while the gooks came by and bayoneted the bodies. And I just laid there in my friend's guts and bile. That's how I feel driving back from Tennessee Aquarium to Georgia with Timothy Jones' shit-filled pants a couple of rows up from me.
Oh, a couple of rows up. Even worse. You're in the back.
Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah,
And because
cool.
every single window is open, it's just made a cyclone of shit wind.
Yeah, it's whipping around. Yeah.
That's
Oh, my
hilarious.
stomach hurts.
Well, you know what?
Oh, I
The
love poop stories.
embarrassing thing you're willing to admit topic did turn into something. I feel good about it.
Yeah.
Well done.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that was a good one.